Welcome back to my channel, Little Misguided, where I'm misguided so you don't have to be. Today, we're continuing the true crime series. I felt like I needed to do a part 2 on Michelle Henry's case. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to freestyle it, freelance, whatever you want to call it. I don't have any prepared questions, so we're just going to pull the cards and see if we can get any more additional information for Michelle Henry's case. And that was immediate. We have the Six of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Wands here. So immediately to me, it's looking like somebody is trying to like escape the situation mentally. Like they don't want to face any of the conflict that's coming their way. And maybe they're also, because this person is like standing their ground, maybe there has been accusations coming their way for a long time now, right? So they just want some peace. They want to get to the other side of this. It's like they might feel like they always got to watch their back, or people might always be talking. And not only that, but they might have to feel like, I don't know, that they physically got to watch their back, or that somebody that overheard something might say something. Anyway, it's like they've been on guard for a really long time. So I feel like immediately going into this, I could be wrong, but so far, I feel like immediately going into this, we're talking about the person who has gotten away with this all this time. And I feel like, I feel like it's been a long time of having their backs against the wall. Maybe not physically, but they know that people are out there talking and saying stuff, and maybe people have heard things, whether it was from their mouth or whether there was a witness or not. But it's like all of this time, 23, didn't I say 23 years, 2004, of, is that math even right? I don't know. You guys can do the math. It's a long time. But all of that time of feeling like you gotta watch over your shoulder and just wanting to have some relief from that feeling. Doggone it. Okay, now I'm debating whether or not I should try and read that some other way, or if I should just trust that. I think I just trust that for right now. Seven of Pentacles. That might have been supposed to be in the reverse. And the Ace of Wands. So, I don't know. Somebody may feel like there's only a matter of time before some kind of proof gets out, or, I don't feel like it's information where it's just people talking, but they may feel like it's only a matter of time before there's something to corroborate and tie them into it. And I almost got a feeling, I don't know, I almost got a feeling of this is someone who, they'd rather take things into their own hands. They wouldn't want to be found out by somebody or have somebody, like, have that power over them. I feel like, I'm reminded right now of a story my Uncle Art told me about how whenever he came home, he had a letter, and he looked at that letter and he knew it was a draft letter. And he did not open that letter. Instead, he went down and enlisted. He wasn't going to let them, require him or tell him or make him. He was going to do the honorable thing and then just go down there and enlist. And that's what he did. And I'm wondering here if, because of the pressures of all of that time and, that feeling of just wanting to have some peace, wanting to have some relief, having to live every day not knowing, I feel like we're talking here about a confession. That's what I feel like so far. We don't have much out. Let's see. Oh no, that was a lot of cards. We have the Devil. The Queen of Cups. Five of Pentacles reversed. Two of Swords. Ten of Swords. The Moon. Seven of Swords in the reverse. And Temperance in the reverse. So I feel like what we're talking about here could possibly be confession. I'm getting this sense of, with this card, the devil made me do it type energy. Not literally. He's not going to literally say the devil made me do it, but my addictions made me do it. My toxic behaviors, attachments, things that I was doing that I probably shouldn't have been doing. Like, I just was swept up. And I feel like Michelle is the Queen of Cups. This is a mother figure. This is someone where I feel like she genuinely, was a loving person, or at least she loved him despite any of the toxicity or any of that stuff that was going on. I felt like she was hopeful. And I feel like he knew that too. I don't know if at the time, but looking back, I feel like he almost sees her like as an innocent. Like, I don't feel like he wants to justify it any kind of way or say that she deserved any kind of thing that happened. But I think he wants to say that he was not in a good frame of mind. He has his demons. And whenever she said what she said or did what she did or whatever that it was that triggered him. It wasn't that it was her fault. It was that it lit a fire up under his ass. And he didn't want to be kept from things. Like, he saw this as being a blockage, being an obstacle. He didn't want it to keep him from doing things that he wanted to do or have, his endeavors. He also did not want to lose, like, any more money. And he he made a decision. I feel like it was blind rage. And he did end things. And, not just because of this card, but in the last reading, and I see some more swords down here. There, he may have attacked her with a knife or some sharp object, but it was like a fit of rage. He snapped out, but he may have been under the influence of either an addiction or some kind of, like, dark thoughts. And then we have the moon and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. The moon is talking about things that are hidden, things that need to come to light, mysteries. The Seven of Swords is coming clean in the reverse. The things that were, hidden in the past, that someone tried to sneak and get away with. It's like revealing them and coming clean about that, shedding a light on the things. And then we have the Temperance card in the reverse. So again, could have been under the influence of alcohol, but also the Temperance card, we could be talking about the speed or the imbalance, like the speed of the confession as to like how long it's going to take for that to actually happen, and imbalance as an imbalance of emotions here. Like, it's like a powder keg, or I don't know, like a festering science experiment, The more you leave it alone and things just work up, the pressure builds up. Eventually, you got to release it. It's just too much boiling underneath the surface that there needs to be some relief. He needs to get it off of his chest. The things that he's been holding back on, he will be forthcoming. I feel like whenever he confesses, it's not going to be any argument. He's just going to be ready for it to be, like, over. Because it's been a journey for everybody, but everybody's been down a different kind of one. And in the last reading, we talked about, like, this might not happen unless they go and they confront him with some type of evidence. And I was feeling strongly like that evidence was, if they could find out if she was pregnant or not. I feel like there could be a record out there that she made an appointment for abortion services that I don't think that she was going to follow through on. Like, I think she did, and then was going to change her mind. She changed her mind. But I think if he's confronted with any of that, but also if he had planned on moving on with somebody else, that information. But I think more so this, that this is talking about, like, it's not gonna, he's gonna talk. I feel like this was extremely short, considering last night it was like an hour and a half. It's only been 15 minutes. But I am kind of curious if, will he ever, like, just confess on his own? I kind of feel like not. I'm sorry to be crass, but I feel like he would die first. Like, before he confessed, like, he would die first. Like, not to be stubborn or anything, but just he's not going to be... Like, if he's not treating himself well, he's not going to be in the best of health. And even if he intended to say something, he might pass before he gets a chance to. So I was just curious whether or not this confession is going to come about if that kind of evidence is not pursued. I don't think so. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. I don't think it will. It's kind of like that energy I was getting before. Like, I don't want to be insensitive and say people, like, don't care about the case, but it's like it'll still be that same cycle of, well, we don't have anything, you know, and I don't want to say it, but it's like in that last reading too, I got royalty in reverse, I think twice, and it's almost like certain people look down on other certain people. And it's not that they don't care about her or what happened to her, but it's like someone like her isn't worth the energy. I'm sorry, I'm getting that feeling. So it's like if there aren't any new leads that just come up, it's just always going to be the same. Oh yeah, well, nothing new still. And it's like I'm saying, it's not that they don't care. It's just that it's not cared about enough. And well, I'm stuck on a word, and I don't want to say it. Well, it's a couple words, a few words. Anyway, but I have these other cards here too, so maybe I can talk about them. But I should just say it so I can talk about the cards. All right, good old boys. That's the word. Good old boys. So I'm wondering, like, if there's some connections on the other side, like, not her family, but in the person's family who's responsible for this. Maybe not even his family. Could be family members, but it could be an association. You know, an association with certain people that have a certain pull. And it's like, I don't know if anybody's necessarily putting up any blockages, but it's like nobody's really caring to like go for it. Or like they don't have to step out of the way. Kind of like if you're going to the grocery store and you're going down the aisle with your little buggy, and then someone's just standing there and they're looking at something and they act like they don't see you. And it's like they'll just keep standing there as long as you don't acknowledge it. Like if you say excuse me or something, then they might step out of the way and let you go around. But until you say something, they just continue to stand there. I know that's happened to you. It's happened to me. I'm sure it happens to more people. But it's like, if you don't acknowledge that you need to get past and that you're blocked, they'll just keep standing there until you, and hope you go away, I guess. Or maybe they're just oblivious and they're just worried about themselves. I have no idea. But I'm seeing it like that. But if something is brought to the attention that's legitimate, that could be stood upon, that needs to be looked at, then there's nothing they can do but step out of the way. Like they can't stop. They can't stop something new. But yeah. I know it sounds crazy because I can't prove or back up anything. I don't have access. But I really think that would be key to find out if there was an appointment. Because, I feel like whenever I'm called to do a reading, there's a reason for it. And I was getting in the last one that the reason for it is because there are certain blockages and that something new needs to happen in order to remove those blockages so that it can be pursued. Like basically the reason that I'm having to do the reading is because if I don't do the reading and something doesn't happen, it's never going to be solved. Honestly. It may never be. I mean, no, it never would. It never would. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking right now to each other. I don't know. It just makes me feel really sad. I feel really sad because I feel like there's going to be some conflict out of this for me, which I'm none too worried about. But the sad part is, like, she deserves to be, like, at peace and her family have peace. It would be a great injustice to not do everything that we could do. Like in the last reading, I said she was looking at, like, are you going to do something? Aren't you going to do something? And, that could have been towards me. It could be on a large, I don't know, it could be on a larger scale. But definitely felt that energy. Like, aren't we going to do something? So, yeah. I guess that's the end of part 2. I don't feel like there's any more. I was hoping to get a lot more information so that I could confirm, like, reconfirm more. Because I trust myself pretty good, but some of the things that I'm saying, it's too specific. Like, I want to be sure that I didn't get that wrong. But I'm still kind of getting, like, the same energies of things. I didn't really pick up anything specifically about that, but I felt inclined to say it again. Even though it sounds crazy, I still felt like I had to say it. And that was for a reason. So, may this go where it needs to go, and what may be done, be done.